Let's look at our side then today. Marcus Dewhurst in goal. George Cantrell, Brad Nicholson, Andre Jones, Hamza Ben Sharif, Scott Garner, captain, Kane Felix, Jamie Spencer, Aaron Martin, Aram Solomon, Sam Scrivens. On the bench, Dylan Barkers, Nathan Newell, who was the young player of the month this month, Kennedy Diggy, Lee Shaw, back from injury and on the bench, that's a good sign, Gabriel Johnson as well. Well, welcome to Nethermoor, and it's a return to home action for Guiseley after a spell of postponements. Nethermoor hasn't entertained football for quite some time, or so it feels. And it's also a return, of course, for former manager Paul Cox, who in his second game in charge of Kettering makes a return to Nethermoor in what will be no doubt a game which will have extra significance for him after being sacked from Guiseley after just 5 months in our final season in the National League. Playing in a bright lime luminous green. Now the players are beginning to congregate around the centre circle, and of course that's because today it is Remembrance, the nearest game to Remembrance Day, and so we are going to have a minute's silence. The referee just going through the coin toss. The players get ready to mark the occasion, and we'll just listen now to this minute's silence. As ever, immaculately observed. Nick, you've joined us now as Chris is ready to drive out of the stadium at a moment's notice. So you're getting the honour, I think if you can call it that, of helping us describe this game this afternoon. Looking forward to this one?
Well, we'll know by 5 o'clock whether it's an honour or a torture. Sometimes it's both.
We've had a false start because as guys are about to get underway, there's about 2 or 3 Kettering players jump in, but we're off. Referee today, Kristen Silcock, assisted by Dane McCarrick and Daniel Jarvis. Blows the whistle and the ball is punted forward and claimed by Paul White, the Kettering goalkeeper.
Yeah, and the lack of an FA Cup campaign certainly it costing us this season. We went out in a much earlier stage this time around, and it has left us looking a little bit threadbare on the playing side.
On the right-hand side, Cantrell picks up the ball, plays it back here to Solomon. Deft little touch in towards Jamie Spencer. The ball is tackled away from him. He's going to leave that one to go out for a corner, I think, down on that right-hand side. Guys, you get the first corner of the game.
And well done to Sam Scrivens, who definitely earned a place in the starting lineup with his first real showing for Guiseley last week up in Gateshead.
Plenty in the box to aim for. It goes up towards Ben Sharif, whose header, Aaron Martin, beg your pardon, whose header actually made connection around the penalty spot, but it sort of took a deflection, and in the end it was enough to take the sting out of the ball and be claimed by Paul White. Port Vale 1 in the cup. Ball won in the air by Scott Garner, but picked up again. This time Milnes lays it in square now and into the penalty area here. A chance now for the opening goal, but it's dragged wide by Marcus Kelly, who made some headway on the edge of the 18-yard box after a neat bit of interplay set out by Ben Mills, and it's a shot that has been pulled away from goal by Marcus Kelly. Still 0-0. Kettering pressing. A long ball into the area from a throw, headed up and away at the edge of the 6-yard box, but picked up second phase again. Now Guiseley clear, and it's punted away by Cantrell, but Sam Scrivens isn't going to get on it. The ball goes back into the air, and there's a shot that comes in here from Aaron O'Connor, takes a deflection, almost lands kindly for, I think it was Connor Kennedy who was lurking. In the end, Dewhurst recovered well enough and adjust himself to the ball to claim possession inside the penalty area. So more former Guiseley players in goal-scoring action. Jake Cassidy for Maidenhead United against Rotherham. 1-0 they lead in the FA Cup. Grimsby 0, Newport County 1. Stourbridge 1, Eastleigh 0. Stourbridge with a remarkable FA Cup pedigree in the last 10 years. They've only lost once in the first round. I think they've been there 6 times in the last 10 years, and they're leading now against higher opposition again. And now Kettering have the ball into the box. It's found the head of Joel Carter, free on the edge of the 6-yard box. A very swift move. The ball whipped in there, but Carter could only bounce the ball into the ground with his head, and fortunately for the Lions, it fell kindly enough for Marcus Dewhurst to claim. Create space deep in the Lions half, but it feels like a dangerous game. Solomon forced to go long in the end. Possession won back by Kettering. It's just not working at the moment. The ball goes through, and then the referee gives a free kick to Kettering. I think they would have preferred to stay on the ball.
Not sure what Aaron was doing, playing himself into the centre of defence.
Oh, guys have been caught napping the ball into the box, but the flag is up. And Aaron O'Connor had a plan there to peel off to space as guys who were getting themselves organised. They took the free kick quickly, but O'Connor was a fraction offside by the looks of it. Scarts lays it back, and then it's punted forward by McGrath up in the air, headed on, and then Scott Garner seems to struggle against O'Connor, who's right in there. Meikle wins it, Kelly wins it, into the area, Carter, goal! A super volley from Carter, and I have to say that has been coming. Guiseley fall behind on 40 minutes. It's now Guiseley 0, Kettering 1.
Well, I think that's been, as you say, coming. I think it's well deserved. There was a sense of inevitability about it. O'Connor's played really well, actually, and it was him causing all the trouble there for Scott Garner that time. And he didn't have the vital intervention, but it meant that all the attention was over his side of the area, and when the ball broke loose, 15, 20 feet away from him, there was nobody around the player Carter challenging him, and he had to take the time, watch it onto his foot, and lash it into the back of the net. And they were going to try and get guys running in behind, or they were going to stick it in the mixer, try and get set pieces. They've done everything they're supposed to have. The question is why our players aren't anticipating that that's what they're going to be facing. And the way that they've not anticipated it explains why, as the half-time whistle goes, we're 1-0 down in this game with no prospect of getting back into it so far.
Well, deservedly, Kettering lead at the break. Guiseley have been poor, Kettering have been high energy. They've pressed and they've got the goal that is their just reward. Joel Carter on 40 minutes with the only goal that separates the two sides. Half-time here, Guiseley 0, Kettering 1.
And that means the two red numbers are on in this one-off charity fundraising kit in aid of prostate cancer. The 8 and the 16 are now both out on the field, and let's see as we get underway whether Lee Shaw can bring a change in our fortunes.
Ball's up in the air already. Guiseley having to defend as we get back underway for the second half. Felix in left-back position with a kind of overhead clearance to get the ball out. So Solomon still on. Sam Scrivens off. Lee Shaw on. Throw in from the right-hand side. So it's going to be long. It's launched in there by Kennedy. Still cleared in the box. Big shout from the fans behind the goal. Not quite sure what for. It's returned. Hits Solomon, and he's almost caused the ball to go through for a Kettering player to go in on goal. At the end, it's cleared, but it's floated back into the box once again, and there's another chance for a shot on goal in a second. It's Joel Carter. Guiseley defending shambolically, and in the end, Joel Carter's found more space, and a second goal just 2 minutes into the second half. And Joel Carter is having a wonderful afternoon. Paul Cox is having a very positive return to Guiseley. The Lions haven't really got out of their half in this second period and are already 2-0 down. No idea what's going on here, Nick. No idea.
Oh, that was absolutely dreadful. So basic. Absolutely avoidable.
And this time it's long and into the box and easily intercepted. And the second phase is going to be won, but that's really well played by Andre Jones to keep it going. Then he's fouled, and Carter protests, but a free kick is for Guiseley. Filling in there as I've been asking the questions about who got booked. Marcus Kelly who did. Free kick comes in, it's really poor. Skied over the bar, behind for a goal kick. It's one of those afternoons, I'm afraid.
Decision at the moment.
Free kick to Guiseley. Hand up here from Solomon. It's floated in from the right hand side rather, headed away. We don't seem to have anything in the air to win it. George Cantrell does really well to win that back. Felix collects, needs to do something special here. Hamza Ben Sharif collects, Felix keeps his run, left hand side, plays it back. It was a difficult one for him to control, does well. Spencer collects the second phase. Guys are enjoying a bit more here. Diggy, Solomon and Spencer combining, but Spencer's forced back by the run of Carter. Frustratingly has to go back to Dewhurst. Don't think that was the wrong decision though, to be honest, where he was on the pitch. Dewhurst plays it long up towards Felix, who heads it infield. Ben Sharif staying forward at the moment, plays the ball over the top. Chance here for Aaron Martin, saved by the goalkeeper. The best chance Guiseley have had. The goalkeeper held firm, Martin couldn't get it past him, and it's away for a Guiseley throw.
First real good chance of the game for Guiseley, and it was a difficult one actually for Martin. It was on his left foot. It was coming up towards hip height, so he had to kind of wrap his foot around it. Couldn't rotate his body enough to get any real power in it, and so had to sort of try and just get it on target, and it was too close to the goalkeeper.
To Diggy. Diggy's over the halfway line, right hand side. Into Solomon, dinks it forward, finds Aaron Martin. Martin plays it forward, almost goes through here, finds Gabriel Johnson in the box. He takes a shot, well saved by the goalkeeper. Super stop there. Andre Jones, Solomon, Jones can't get it under and out of his feet. Still Guiseley battling higher up the pitch, but in the end Kettering managed to get it away.
Oh dear, Andre Jones and Aaron Solomon both fighting each other for it there. They both thought they had the angle for what they wanted to do with it.
Guiseley grown back into the game. Maybe too little too late, but we are now creating a couple of chances. Aaron Martin turning on the ball, plays it out to the right hand side. Picked up here, floated into the box, but it's going to be away from Johnson. Headed away. Andre Jones wins the second phase, into the area again. Headed down, shot comes in, takes a deflection, does it? Goes behind. And there was a flag up anyway, it wouldn't have counted. It's an offside decision. And it will be a free kick to Kettering. And that change will happen now for the visitors. Solomon looking ahead, plays it over the top. Felix is looking for it. He wins it in the air, Felix, really well. And there's a bit of a confusion in the box and a chance here which Lee Shaw couldn't take it down. He's back to goal. He saw the goalkeeper off his line. I think he was trying to attempt a lob but couldn't get it down and under control in time. In the end, it sort of bobbles up in the air and is easy for the goalkeeper to claim. 5 minutes extra. Gabriel Johnson. He plays it out to the left-hand side. Felix. Perhaps if we could get something yet. Into the box. Headed over the bar. And Aaron Martin had the chance there to get us a foothold back in the game late on, but in the end it's gone out for a goal kick. It was a good delivery, a firm header, but just too high. Just felt like that from early on in this game. It's not going to be our day.
He scored a harder goal with his head last week than that one was there.
Ball's over the top now. Chance here for Kane Felix inside the area. Goalkeeper saves. Just doesn't feel like it. Felix goes down. Referee not interested. Felix gets back up, collects the ball, chips it up. Goalkeeper saves it again. Headed off the line. Goalkeeper can't help but bundle it in. It's in. He's given it. I thought there was a free kick given there. But guys, have got it whack, and I think it's Aaron Martin.
That was absolutely a foul on the goalkeeper. I'm almost sure that was a foul on the goalkeeper. Oh dear. Well, it's happening, Colin. If Aaron Martin had taken that sitter a moment ago, then we'd be 2-2 now.
Yeah. And Aaron Martin has finally continued his goal-scoring feats. Another throw. And it's a chance here for Felix. He throws it in to find Martin. Martin spins on the ball but can't control it. Collects the ball back, plays it out to Kennedy Diggy, into the area. Diggy looks for an option to get it into the box. He's going to shoot maybe. He plays it into the area. Not cleared. Solomon collects. Left-hand side. Needs to get it into the box. Solomon. Cross. High up in the air. Goalkeeper comes out. Punches. Kennedy Diggy should recover. He's got a bit of a task to do that. He does. He wins it. Cantrell needs to get it back to Dewhurst, I think. It's finished Walsall 2, Darlington 2. Great performance there from Darlington. Ball forward now. Hamza Ben Sharif goes for it. Flicked on here by Aaron Martin. Can't get it. Guys, he still can't do enough. Whistle goes. Well, Kettering win. And it's a happy return for Paul Cox to Nethermoor Park. A bitter defeat, though, for the Lions, whose performance wasn't good enough, but finally turned it round late on in the game. Started to press more, had chances, but could only muster one. That was deep into stoppage time. In the end, a worthy victory for Kettering. It's finished here. Guiseley 1, Kettering 2. With Russ O'Neill after the defeat 2-1 at home to Kettering. Russ, a difficult day at the office, disappointing performance and no points on the board at the end of it.
Disappointing all round. It just didn't look like us at all, did it, from minute 1 to the 90th minute. We never got going. After Saturday's result, we thought we'd come back here and be on a real high and real start the game quick, and it just didn't materialise. And I think we pushed late on for an equaliser. If we'd have got anything, it'd have been harsh on Kettering, but we weren't right and we deserved to get beat on the day.
You lost Scott Garner as well in the second half. He had to be substituted. Was there a problem?
Yeah, he got whacked in first half and he sat down at half time. He got double vision and he went out second half and he was still the same. So medical advice, he's got to come off at that one. Hopefully be all right for next week. Well, week after.
2 disappointing goals, obviously. So difficult to get back into a game, isn't it, after you concede so early on in the second half. But the last 20 minutes were a bit more positive. Did you think we were going to find a way back into the game?
I thought we might have done, like I've just said, but if we had done, I think it'd have been a bit harsh on Kettering. But we've got to come today and massively disappointed because we've got to come today and we've gone back into 6th place. We've got to take the bull by the horns and real take the game to Kettering, and I didn't really think we did that. And we can say as much as we want, but we don't want to make no excuses anyway. We've come today and we've not performed and we've been at wrong end of the result, and that's what happens in Conference North. If you turn up and you're not ready and you're not in a position to go and fight for every ball that comes, it's been a different game today than it were against Gateshead. Gateshead play. I'm not saying anything against Kettering, but they play in a different manner and the dynamics of the game changes, and we still like to get to football, and today we never did that. So we're on the wrong end of the result, and again we've got to 16 league games in. And I've said constantly as a group, we need to learn to win all different types of games. And today we've been under a result against a team which we seem to have lost, against that sort of team consistently through the season. It's something that we need to address if we are going to stay and try and push for that top 7.
It's a fixture-free weekend next week. After a result like this, you've always been honest about us trying to get back onto the front foot in the next game. How does that help or hinder us?
Definitely hinders us, Like you say, you come today and you're starting to get 1 or 2 players back now. We have been suspensions and injuries and this, that and the other, and players are starting to come back now and people want to play, so it's going to be competitive, and people are playing for places, and 1 or 2 people today might be looking at that who's being sat on bench or outside it and think, hang on a minute, I've got a chance. So we want to play the next week if you can, but unfortunately you can't. It's out of our hands, and it's what we do between now and the FA Trophy, and make sure that we're right for that.
So the FA Trophy draws on Monday. What sort of draw do you want?
Just an home draw if we can. Again, an home draw. We always fancy ourselves at home, and today has gone against that a little bit. But just an home draw. We're looking for an home draw.
Looking forward to the competition. Is it one we can have a go at?
Looking at what's yeah. We're step 2, and it only goes to step 1, obviously. So, we feel as though Honours Day, we've got to make sure that we are right, and we have to adjust to opposition, and we do, and we need to improve on that. But we're right up towards the top embers of this competition, and we've really got to feel like we can go and have a real go at it, and that's what we'll do.